begins with a game, with a basket and a ball. It becomes a journey of heartbreak and hope, from city streets to the brink of fame. The amazing story of
ML Elric
and
Shawn Windsor
struggling against the odds.
My mother, God bless her, she's always said to me, this America, you can make something of your life.
Against the system.
You have to realize you can make their team win.
To make a dream come true.
All I ever dreamed about
was podcasting.
You asked it around, get your finger out of my face. It's gone.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on.
That is not paid for by them. That is paid for by the people of Detroit.
You might be qualified, ML.
I'm not qualified for this job.
Let me tell you something. You want to go right now? Okay? You want to go right now?
Hey kids, it's your old pal ML Elric back in the studio with my old friend, who I haven't known that long, Shawn Windsor.
Welcome back.
Well,
Where were you anyway?
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Where were you?
Well, I was in Ireland. We wonder where you were.
I don't know where I was. Cleveland?
Everywhere.
Orlando? I don't know. Somewhere.
You're like that song, You've Been Everywhere,
I thought you were in Iceland.
I was in Ireland, I was in Copenhagen, I was in Iceland.
Okay.
And as I often
Thanks for
do.
listening to the show, by the way.
And
No,
soulmates.
that's right. Yeah, it was like the fake lunar landing. You really weren't there.
Soulmates will know this. I always bring back a little gift for my partners, and here's a little something for Shawn.
What is that?
My
What is it?
Epicurean
Are the
friend.
batteries?
No. They may as well be. They're like
They kind of look like
they're like
that.
sugar-free black licorice treats
Oh,
from Iceland.
Nice.
So
Thank you. Yeah.
So just
Look
as
at
your intestines are getting better, tuck into those and see how you do, boy.
Yeah. I will. I'll see. Well, no, maybe I don't. Did they give you gas? That'd be my only
This
question.
is the kind of lively banter that people.
Did they give you gas? Because, look, I just went
Oh,
around
boy.
the country, and I was at news conferences that were being
boy.
televised live, and I just kept praying every time I'd ask a question with a microphone that I wasn't going to rip one out of my belly with the microphone right there. I came close a couple times. I'd either just answered the question and handed the mic off, or I ripped one, and then I got handed the mic. So I just figured the odds are, but then there was one day, it was actually Game 6 in Cleveland, the Detroit Pistons, semifinals of the Eastern Conference playoffs, and there's an ESPN guy that I don't really know very well as a national guy, but I know kind of, and he sat down next to me and he wanted to know, where should I stay in Detroit for Game 7? What hotels? And I was trying to help him.
Not behind me.
I was trying to help him, so he could walk to the Little Caesars Arena and so forth. And we talked, cool. So Cade Cunningham comes in, the Pistons star, and he sits down and he starts talking. And I'm in the back, and all of a sudden, and he looks over at me, like side-eyes me, like, what the fuck? And Cunningham kept talking, so I couldn't really lean over and quietly explain. Oh man, sorry, I got a medical issue here. I can't control that at all. And that was it. I'm like, oh, that's just great.
Wait, were you ever able to clear it up? With
No.
him? I mean, that would bother me to this day. I would
And
find
it
him on
still
Twitter.
bothers me. And then as soon as it was over, he got up and scrambled out because he wanted to
Yeah,
go get
of
an
course.
interview, and then I had to go somewhere. And then I saw him.
Wanted to get a shower.
I saw him in
Breathe.
the press area for Game 7 back at Little Caesars Arena, and here we are 2 days later. So it's 48 hours later. What are the statute of limitations or something like that? At that point, you want to. Oh yeah. By the way, when you heard me fart the other day,
I would. There is no statute of limitations. I would absolutely clear it up.
But I thought about clearing up. And I thought, oh, what the heck? It doesn't matter. I'm a peon anyway. I'm just a little loser.
I think you play
bubbling
it off.
out of my chest. You know what I mean? So.
You play it off by saying, "Let me clear the air," because the other day I may have fouled it.
I don't have the clever segs that you do, though.
Well, that's why I'm here to help.
Yeah. No. You love to help people. It's
That's
it's a
they call me.
fabulous thing.
They call me Mr. Helper.
Yeah.
By the way, Shawn,
Dr. Helper.
if you're looking for help, making a plan for your financial future, Luke Nowacki and the team at Pinnacle Wealth Strategies could probably help you. If you're looking for a good time on the east side, maybe you want to go to the Cadre Cafe for music, food, and fun.
Oh, when you said good time, you
And,
go to a certain place.
And when you're done chasing the Pistons, which I guess everybody is, maybe you want to catch a game at Keyworth with DCFC. If you use promo code SOUL, SOUL, at checkout, you'll get 15% off. And maybe now that you're home and you're looking around your house, staring at the walls, you want to make some improvements. Well, our friend John at Artisan Interiors might be able to help you turn your dreams into a reality.
Those all sound fabulous, especially Keyworth, because it's outside and I can be my
you and the Northern Guard,
medically compromised self, and nobody's going to care.
They're putting off sulfur smoke bombs.
Exactly.
You're putting off methane bombs.
I'll blend right in.
There are a lot of open flames.
And all the chanting and singing they do, that great atmosphere there at Keyworth. Nobody would hear it. It'd be great. It's a safe space for me to sort of bubble.
Yeah, Le Rouge meets Le Brun.
There you go.
So that'd be perfect. So I like that. That sounds perfect. I just want to know if this guy from Cleveland took your advice on where to go. Is he like, I'm not doing anything that guy says?
Yeah, no, he probably didn't.
It undermined you.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
Have you thought about going to those press conferences, kind of like Harpo, with like a big horn, so when you're about to blow and just blow the horn as kind of
I don't know when they're coming. It's not like a regular tube.
But if you hit the horn really fast
out the back that you can feel, because you have muscles back there, you can kind of control a little bit. There's nothing in your rib cage I can't control. I have no sense of when it's coming, and so I've just kind of gotten used to it. And usually I can explain it away when it happens, but yeah, that's the one good thing is it goes into a contained space, so it doesn't really have an odor, and that's helpful. That's so at least.
Yeah, but you can't blame the sound on someone else. An odor, you could always go.
No, I can't. I can't. But for the last, because it was true for the NCAA tournament. Yeah, for the last 2 months, 2.5 months, basically, it's been okay. Can I get rid of this microphone fast enough? And
what if you just turn it into like part of your persona? Like whenever it happens, you go like, "Ayo."
You think so?
It's just like, oh, there's Shawn. Shawn's here.
One thing I can do is sometimes it'll happen and then they come a few more, right? So it's like in bunches, unfortunately. I guess it depends on what I've eaten. I'm still trying to figure out what does it so much. But I can muffle it with my hand a little bit, but again, without getting too much into the weeds, so to speak, and giving away too much information here. I can't muffle it too.
What more could there be?
I can't muffle it too hard.
I feel like we've had full disclosure.
No, you can't. Yeah, I can't. If I try to muffle it too hard, then that causes a physics situation that could be bad too, right? Because
it'll go the other way.
That air has got to go someplace, and there's the way it stays on me is involved. Think of it like a seal. It's a wax ring. It's a seal. So if I push it, if I muffle it, that gas has got to go somewhere. It's going to start putting that seal out, and then I'm a public health hazard in a completely different way. So, and I learned that the hard way too, sitting there in a press conference.
What happened?
Well, I could feel it starting to come, so then I had to go deal with that later. It didn't get messy or anything, but it's just so that's what I've been dealing with on the road for the last couple of months. Is
does this ever happen?
Farting and trying to keep the microphone and national television away from that sound.
Well, I think you could be a great story. Does this ever happen at an inopportune time, like when someone finishes their question and you just kind of sound off as if you're expressing skepticism or like any follow-ups?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
So, and that's really why we lost, Shawn, whatever you may believe.
Right.
No, really, that's why we lost, Shawn.
Sounds like the damn Benny Hill show for anybody that's
I'm going to start going to these
of a
press
certain
conferences
and misogynistic. What's that?
I'm going to start going to these. I want a credential. I just want to be there. So when I went to Iceland,
it could happen. Couldn't it happen now? I mean, it could happen during this show, right?
I guess it could.
That's why he's on your side of the
studio.
studio.
Will you please pull the mic down when that happens, or stand up so we can hear it?
I wouldn't care so much.
That's Brandon's
on
thing.
This show.
He's
our
hot air
is
releaser.
that the afternoon show? The drive time show today.
Brandon's.
They like to,
he used to, not so much anymore.
He's cleaned up his act now that he's a dad. I think.
I don't think
changing his diaper. But this is like when I went to Iceland. They have a geyser field, and some of them kind of bubble and never really quite blow. They just sort of steam and smell a little sulfurous, and others go whenever you don't really know. And then there's one called Stroker that goes between every 5 to 10 minutes. So I went and sat there and waited for this thing to go off several times.
This is the hot springs, right?
Because,
it's
geothermal.
What do they call them?
Yeah.
They don't call them hot springs.
But
that's
geothermal.
in Arkansas.
It's volcanic activity. But it's very entertaining. And having realized how much I enjoyed sitting there waiting for something to happen, I would like to start going to these press conferences with you and just kind of wait for the geyser to go.
You think so?
Could you get me a credential?
You find this amusing, don't you?
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You find this amusing.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, now that we
I know
you're
every
not going to
Tuesday
die,
I'm going to be humiliated
right?
by an
Knock on
untimed
wood.
eruption, but I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Well, how is your health? You're not going to die on us, are you?
I hope not. I mean, what about you guys?
I hope not. Oh, I'm done.
I send checks out at the end of the month, so if you could kind of time it for the 29th, that would be a little more for the rest of us.
Oh, well, you can. What, new set of tires for the Cutlass?
The Riviera. The Riviera should be on the insurance.
I keep calling it a Cutlass.
I had a Cutlass.
I'm trying to keep your anonymity here, man.
I had a
You know what I mean?
79
Big star like you.
Cutlass Supreme Brome.
But yeah, exactly.
It burned to the ground.
It's a quote Cutlass. Come on, man.
Well, they're all in the same. They're all in the same chassis.
I know they are.
But no, I have decided. Usually, my insurance renews on the 14th of May. I've decided not to put the Riviera back on the road for the time being because the price of gas is so insane. I mean, when you're getting maybe 15 miles to the gallon and gas is maybe $4.50 a gallon, if you're lucky, it's a tough call.
What other option do you have though? Do you have another car?
Oh yeah, I'll just drive the Chrysler. Usually in the summer.
Well, why wouldn't you do that?
What
anyway?
about your
I won't
bike?
drive the Chrysler. Motorcycle?
No, bicycle. Don't you have a bicycle?
I do. In fact, I have a Detroit bikes, a Solar Detroit bike, as do you and Marc.
Exactly.
I ride it all the time.
But it's tough to ride to work and to assignments and stuff like that.
But I understand if you're driving the other car to save money now because of the price of gas, why wouldn't you just drive that car all the time to save money?
Well, because I enjoy driving the Buick, and I have the '62
Well,
Pontiac
then if you enjoy
convertible.
driving it, why not just enjoy it now, regardless of the price?
I probably will, but
okay.
this week was when the insurance renewed, and I was like, I don't know, maybe because I'm going to be out of town again. And
Gotcha.
I thought I want it to be. Detroit insurance is so expensive. I want to make sure I'm going to drive it if it's on the insurance, and then the gas is kind of tough. So
or you can do what the guy who hit my parked car did.
Oh,
and
what's
just
going on with
not
that?
put his kid on his insurance.
Oh, that saved him money.
So I don't know if I even told that story on here, but I'm so livid about that. I don't know. It looks like I'm just going to be on the hook of it because this guy that hit my car, his dad insured him, and he was on the name on the insurance, which expired 3 weeks previously, and then with their new insurance, didn't put him on there. So.
Well, I told you what to do about that. You got to file a small claims, a mini tort case against him in small claims court, and get a judgment against him for $1,000.
That he's not going to pay.
Who owns the car, him or his dad?
He does, the father.
The dad did. Oh, great. So he make him a defendant. It was his car. He lent somebody who didn't have insurance his car. Get the judgment on both, or just call him and say, "Hey, asshole, I'm dinging you for $1,000. Give me $500 now, cash on the barrelhead."
He wouldn't pay. He wouldn't pay the judgment anyway.
I assume the dad is.
Honestly,
somewhat
it's one of those
legitimate.
things where that just sounds like a whole thing, and I'd rather just pay my own deductible and be done with it.
Well, this
My
is
time is more valuable.
This is where no fault in Michigan turns into yo fault, because if you get hit by somebody else, you pay your own deductible. If somebody hits you and they don't have insurance, they pay your deductible. Now, I got rear-ended in Montreal many years ago, and in Montreal, in Quebec, they have an insurance fund, so if somebody who's uninsured hits your car, the fund will pay you for repairs so that you're not screwed because somebody else has been a derelict. And I was kind of thinking about Montreal this week, and this is why Shawn isn't covering the Stanley Cup playoffs. Strippers in Montreal are on strike, Shawn. Did you know that?
No, but I do have a wedding there in a couple of months.
Sounds like you're not going to have a
Great
bachelor
input.
party, though.
No.
That's done.
No.
Yeah, you don't. That's not going to happen.
No, so the question is, am I going to ruin the wedding? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Well, I said, yeah, can anybody think of a reason these two should not be wedded in holy matrimony? Because anybody else
Please
have
do.
a reason.
I mean, everybody there knows you for the most part, right? I would assume.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
not,
but they're
not
used to
everybody.
Shawn
That'll be
being full of hot
legendary.
air. This will be a new twist. This will be something exciting for them.
By the way, speaking of driving, and
Well, we're going to
and-
get into strippers. I
And,
guess.
oh, you want to talk about strippers?
Well, I mean,
I mean, Marc does probably.
that's really not the one of my senses that I
What's that
prefer
mean?
to use when I think about strippers. But
No. One of my kids was driving the other day, and a ball joint came out in a Ford, an old Ford's 200,000 miles or whatever, and all of a sudden the tire's perpendicular
oh yeah,
to the car. Just
that's
pops.
bad.
No, it's not good, and it's not good. So let me
But
just
not
preface
good is
all
the
of
same
this
as
by
bad.
saying I'm incredibly grateful. It could have been scary. That could have happened on a highway doing 40 miles an hour, whatever. It happened. He's crawling through an intersection. and that's it. So he mistakenly Googles, he's trying to call roadside assistance from the insurance company, and gets this other, quote, roadside assistance.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What? Say what now?
Other sort of roadside assistance.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this truck shows up, and a 6'7", 300-pound young fella gets out with a gun, strapped over his shoulder and a little bit of a holster, and says, "Oh yeah, I'll take that. You want me to take it to a mechanics, or I can take it to our storage?" And my son's like, "Yeah, take it to the mechanics. The shop is just right around the corner." And he sort of talks him into, "Well, it's easier if we just take it to the storage."
No,
so he can hold it.
No,
and then,
you don't want to do that.
And then he gets my son to sign. It was just at that point, right? He's kind of in over his head.
Yeah.
So I go. So okay, for some reason, my kid,
I hope you farted all over this guy.
Yeah, my son thinks that it's at the dealer, or at the mechanic. So the next day, I go coming back from a game, and I want to go to the dealer and talk about what the cost and all that sort of thing. Oh, what? We didn't get any car coming in like that. Oh. But let me go walk the lot, and I'll call you back in an hour. So I leave. I get a call back. They walk their whole lot. Nope, nobody brought the car here.
Oh,
so then I'm trying to find out, okay, what was the name of this company, and I use that loosely. So finally we get a phone number and find out that it's clear. It's 25 miles away on the other side. Over in
and it's $250 a day to be stored.
It
in the
is,
lots.
and it was it was almost $400 to do it. Then they had a gate fee, and then they had a hook and all these other fees. It's almost
and you had to pay cash. Did they do that?
Yep,
so then you have to go to the ATM.
You gotta pay, and they said, yeah, it's cash. It's cash only once it goes to storage. And it's whatever per day,
is that legal?
and it's like they'd had the thing for 14 hours, and they were charging for 2 days. It was $800.
Holy
so you know what they're counting on? They want you to abandon the car.
Exactly right. So I start, and I rarely get frustrated. But I started cussing. I've never done this. I started cussing him out on the phone.
Yeah, you never swear.
So Sam calls him up.
Although I think at the 43-second mark of the show, we may have evidence to the contrary.
No, but I'm not getting mad at people usually.
Oh, just gratuitous? Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so
mouth.
my son's on the phone. I say, put him on speakerphone, and I start yelling. So anyway, I finally get an address, and I get my insurance company because we want to get a tow over to them to get it towed, right? And
did you say, I want that 6'7", 300-pound guy who's strapped waiting for me because I'm going to kick his ass?
Yeah, right. So I call him up, and I'm looking at. He sends me an invoice, which is just a text with, it's not an invoice at all, right? Yeah. And all these charges. I'm like, this doesn't add up. This doesn't make sense. He's like, hey, boss. And he keeps calling me boss the whole time. He's calling me boss.
At least he's respectful.
Dismissive.
And I'm just, and as mad as I'm getting and as frustrated, I start yelling at him, which I don't think I've ever yelled at anybody in a transaction in my life.
I can remember one time on a podcast.
He's clearly used to this. He's just calm as can be. Doesn't push. It's just completely nonplussed, right?
Well, he's got all the cards.
He does. So I finally figured out. He's like, yeah, I'll have somebody meet you over there. I come up. There's a little tiny rundown restaurant. Behind that is a gravel lot. There's no fence, no gate, no nothing. And by the way, they charged $100 for a gate fee. There's not even a fence or a gate.
Well, they're saving up.
And a little bit of a shack, and it's thunder. It's raining. It was thunderstorms going on.
Hey, wait a second. Let me just ask you this.
My car's the only car there. Or my son's car, rather. Yes.
Did you have how drivable was it?
It wasn't. The car, the
three wheels.
No, but could you drive it across the street or anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
The tire was perpendicular.
Okay.
When those ball joints are gone, the wheel just falls
So
off.
I had to give him cash to get the keys, and I'm like, you realize this is a criminal operation. He's like, hey, and he was just he's like, hey boss, if you ever want a car, come to an auction. I'll sell you a car. He said, you're just lucky my boss isn't here. She's Sicilian.
What?
So now he's disparaging the people of Italian
You're
heritage.
Kill me?
I'm like, what?
What are you?
What?
What are you going to kill me over $800?
It's just.
So
that's just an empty threat.
So it's a good lesson though. It's a good lesson for
why don't you name this place?
What's real online, right? Misinformation. So that's one thing for my kid is that, hey, you got to figure out how you went from roadside assistance to what was the insurance company to this roadside. I mean,
how did that start? Because my insurance has a card that I put in the glove box, and when you call them, they confirm that you are who you are.
No,
and they send
for
you
sure.
a text.
I didn't do any of this. My son did all
No,
this.
no,
so-
I know you're.
Well, you said he Googled, right? Which
He was
that's what
Googling.
pisses me off.
He
I'm kinda-
Googled roadside assistance, and
Yeah.
it came
and
up
they
with
buy
this.
an ad.
So he didn't go to the insurance company.
No, he thought he was. Yeah, for some reason, Googling the roads. I mean, he just got confused.
Yeah, because they pay to be in the ads. Are up
Exactly.
there
So
first,
it's a
if you're
tough-
not paying attention,
a
you
tough-
click on an ad.
Tough lesson.
The same thing happens like if you're like say you want health care, right?
Oh,
Like, that's
God.
a big huge scam if you search like
Yeah,
No, it's a huge
government health
the
care.
paid search results are a disaster.
And this
Yeah.
this wasn't even like a towing company that has legitimate storage lots and gates. I mean, those places are bad enough.
It also happens with if you're trying to pay the IRS your taxes, which is why now if you go to a government website, it says on the top, "This is a certified government website," so you know you're actually where you want to be.
So we had
I
a
mean,
big
the other
long-
way is to look at the the extension, the .gov.
But yeah,
But
you got to
when,
be careful, right? This
Yes.
is a good.
The scammers are everywhere.
With every industry. It just made me think about that. Just trying to figure out what's real and not real in this world online is really, really difficult.
When the internet was just kind of starting, whitehouse.com was a porn site,
Nice.
which I found out from Teresa because she was looking up. She's
Wait,
trying to
is
get
this coming back to strippers in Iceland? Or?
I'm trying.
Oh, no, Montreal.
Well,
sorry.
you got hookers hooking your car and
Do you
taking
want to know what whitehouse.com is now?
Well, and Snatch Block, whatever that is.
Is that about? It better be about engines because this is a family show.
It was about engines,
okay.
yeah.
Thank goodness.
Whitehouse.com now is a betting site.
Okay.
Free
Yeah.
election betting site. We
Well,
are a hybrid model, incorporating both betting and polling results in one
At least
site.
it's
Wait,
political.
betting with a D or with a T?
betting.
Oh dear. Okay.
Betting.
Homonyms. Fun with homonyms. Teresa told me about this when we were working in New Hampshire. She's like, I was looking for a phone number for the press office at the White House, and I went to whitehouse.com, and it's a porn site. And I'm like, I don't believe it. I should probably check that out for myself.
And this was in New Hampshire? So you're in
This
the
was
White-
this was in the early 90s.
So you're in the White Mountains, or at least close to them.
That was one of the subsets on that porn site.
White Mountains.
The White Mountains.
So what is a White Mountain? I wonder. What's
It's big
breasts.
naturals. Yeah, it was White Mountains.
I mean, what else would it
Yeah,
be?
that was big,
Well,
big,
no. I
big
mean,
natties.
it could
I
be-
think they called them.
Could be what?
I don't know. Who knows?
Which brings us back to these
These days.
strippers in Montreal.
See, I knew we'd get back there.
This is just the foreplay, Shawn. Unless you're going to interrupt me again. No. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go fast.
Sorry to be interested.
So these strippers.
No, I like that. That was a fascinating.
No, that was a public service. That's how this show helps people avoid.
I came prepared
I'm
today.
so pissed off that this guy does this.
I knew I was
what
never going
company-
to get these
Sorry.
strippers. Anyways,
Go ahead.
We'll have a link to our website. Our website is mlsolodetroit.com. But we're just, as a union guy, I just want to say I support the strippers in Montreal, and this time it's not with a loony.
It's not with a loony.
Well, what are they doing? Explain what they're doing.
They feel like they have so I'm told this is a common practice when you are someone who makes money in this particular genre, you have to pay the bar to perform.
Yeah.
You pay like a tipping fee.
It's kind of like hairstylist, right?
Yes, it's a booth fee.
You have to pay for the chair.
Yeah, and so what they're saying is that
Which
they
is
keep
fucking
raising these
ridiculous,
booth
by the way.
fees, and they keep adding these charges on to Well, I mean, the thing is, at a beauty salon, you've got sinks, you've got water, you have a brass pole.
But just for argument's sake, they do provide the DJ, the bar, the atmosphere.
Yeah, but it's all heavy metal music. You could just plug in your phone and do it, and then let's hear it for Porsche. You could do all that stuff pre-programmed. But at any rate, what they're saying is we are being charged so many surcharges and so many extras that we can't make any money dancing. And it turns out that the Canadian Grand Prix is this weekend, and so these strippers, who are a lot smarter than people may give them credit for, have decided this is when they're going to make all their money, so we are going to shut it down during their highest grossing weekend in every sense of the word. They're on strike. And so I just want to say, as a union guy, as a union official, as someone who believes in collective labor, I support the strippers of Montreal in their efforts to try and get a more just workplace.
I still think that's weird that independent contractors have a union like that they can make the club change the rules.
Well, the writers' union is all freelance people
Sure.
who, so you can do things like republication rights.
You would think, I guess, how it would work is, hey, if you're an independent contractor, you're going to go work, and you're the best, you're going to go work for the ones that treat you the best, right? And almost like there's tiers of clubs.
Sure, but how many runways do they have? And there's probably more bars than there are high-end bars. In fact, if I recall from my research, Club Super Sex is no longer open on St. Catherine Street in Montreal, I read.
Club Super Sex?
It's no longer there.
It sounds like they spent about 20 seconds coming up with a name.
Yeah, the marketing department, they kind of...
Club Super Sex?
Well, and the way the French are, it's like super. So they're like, okay, well, that's good, right? And it involves sex, so why not? And it's a club. So they,
Shawn,
that savings
care to comment?
That savings went right back into the customer experience.
No, I don't. I'm still frustrated with the gangster tow truck driver.
So you know why they do this.
Extortionist.
So we kind of mentioned
extortion.
That they want to take your car.
That's exactly. And I told him that. I said, this is a whole, because you know a lot of people probably can't come up with that kind of cash, and then you get the car.
So the thing that sucks is he probably knows the law too. Because what was running through your head? Were you thinking of different things you could do to get it out without having to pay?
That, or just hey, can you call the cops? I mean, they're storing it. There's just an open parking lot. There's no right. I mean, that can't be legal, can it? And they're charging a gate fee when there's no. I didn't know.
Yeah.
The insurance company, and then
I think they can run their business the way they want.
You can get a reimbursement fee, but then they're charging you for something they don't have. Like there's no gate. I don't know. They probably have the law on their side with that. But the insurance company said, "Hey, this is a sketchy business," and I said the invoice that I'm going to send to you, because they will help reimburse. Which is
but probably not for some of that bullshit.
No, and it's a little handwritten thing, and they said, "Hey, just take a picture. You would be shocked." At what we get. So they were used to it.
You know why they want cash. First of all, they're probably not filing their taxes. And second of all, you can't call the credit card company and say, I'm going to dispute the charge.
Yeah. Well, that's what the guy did tell me that. I said, you just want the car? He said, yeah, no, but it's not just that, because a lot of people come get their car and then stop the charge on the credit. Yeah. On the credit card.
Yeah.
So they take credit cards like on the spot.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh.
But the minute you don't pay on the spot, yeah.
Okay.
Isn't this a huge problem in Detroit too?
So more people
towing was for a long
people
time.
Have gone to prison in Detroit. More public officials and police and others have gone to prison because of towing wrecked cars. And I was talking to someone who's in this business. I said, how is it that you got these junker cars? I understand put a bunch of storage fees on them, but nobody's going to pay those storage fees, because the reason they're driving a junk car is they can't afford something better.
That's why I told
And then when
the guy,
it breaks down, they can't afford to fix it. And so you got a car that's a piece of shit that you can barely afford. Then you can't afford to fix it. And then you have all these storage fees. You're never going to come claim your car. I said, so where's the money in that car? Is it in the metal? Because, recycling isn't as lucrative as it used to be. He said, no, here's how it works. When you have a big enough lot and a big enough business, and you keep these cars, you get enough of them that once a year you do an auction. And when you do the auction, people come to buy them because they can fix them. They come to buy them for parts, for junkyards, or whatever reason. And you can make millions of dollars on all these cars that are worth nothing if you have enough of them. And so the whole game is collect all these boneyard cars, stack them up, have an auction, make your money that way, and everybody's happy except the poor drivers who got rooked, hooked, and schnooked.
Which is why the tow truck driver was trying to tell my son, come to our auction and we'll get you a new car.
Exactly.
Oh, what a dick.
So, and maybe he gets his car back with the suspension fixed. So, yeah, so that's tough. Shawn, I did want to talk to you.
Maybe finding a tow truck driver to tow it after hours when they're not there? There's no gate. I'm just trying to think of ways to get around it.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're really hoping there's people like me that aren't going to go through any steps, because a lot of times it's just easier to pay the cash and be done with it.
So, boy, I think the statute of limitations is passed on this. My old man, who was a very sketchy character, got in a dispute with somebody over a boat that he had that he wanted to have refinished. The lacquer had bubbled up and whatever, and, of course, they were beefing over it. And, he wasn't really good at making our visitation appointments, but he did happen to make this particular appointment to get me out on a Sunday afternoon with a buddy of his in some piece of shit old Ford Econoline van to go get the boat out of the storage yard. He decided, well, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to steal my boat back.
It's like OJ.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I'm a kid. I never get to see my dad. I'm like, okay, why not? What the hell? This sounds like an adventure. So we hook. I had no idea what we were doing until we're in the yard, and we're pulling this thing down the road. It's like a 2-lane highway, and all of a sudden, this thing passes us at a tremendous rate of speed. They had loosened the lug nuts on the trailer, and this thing had some big rims, and this thing passed us. And if there had been a car coming in the other direction, it would have been like a buzzsaw. It would have sawed them in half. It would have killed anybody driving on the other side of the road. And it just zoomed past us. I was like, holy crap, what just happened? And they were shitting their pants because I'm just a kid. These guys are both going to prison. My dad's a cop, so he's going to lose his job and all this other shit. So they kind of pull over, unhook the boat. They went and fetched the tire. I think they threw it in the back of the van. And that's the last I heard of it. And I was, my old man checked out recently. So my brother and I were talking about this when we were together in Dublin, because he flew over to visit. And that was the end of the story as far as I found. He's like, oh, yeah, well, here's the rest of the story. Oh. Later on, me and some other screwhead went to go put the wheel back on the trailer. I was just like, oh, my God. So,
wait.
This is dangerous.
Your brother came from where? So
my brother, Rob Elric of Elric Bass Guitars, moved his shop to Valencia, Spain, because he married a Spanish woman. And
so he flew from Valencia
to Dublin
to see you. And then your dad checked out?
He's been gone for a little while. But this was one of these
I thought
stories.
I did that, but the way you said that, I thought, wow, wait, what? Did I misunderstand something?
Well, I haven't seen him in 30 years, so he's been dead to me for a long time.
No, I know, but you said checked out recently. I thought maybe like he died a week ago or 2 weeks ago or something.
It's a couple months,
no,
right?
But
a couple months.
It's been a little over a year. I'm not sure.
That's okay. Okay,
but,
so not a couple of months.
We didn't get the card, so thank you. Or the donation to the memorial fund, which is please give his son some money since you excluded them from the will. But anyway,
I've been there.
Yeah. So that shit's scary, man.
Not with a biological though.
That shit's scary. Speaking of disparate relatives, how's America's favorite stepdad doing?
My God.
What's the Belvin update?
I don't know.
What's Belvin's position on these strippers? Well, I know what his position is. It's probably 69. But what?
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Who
reverse
knows?
Cowboy?
Who knows?
Okay. Well, we're gonna.
He's more interested in stripping himself, right?
Yeah, in his kimono.
I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's stripping. If you just have sort of a loose,
just kind of opens
a loose
up.
bit of cloth.
The sachet just kind of comes on.
He likes a little bit of mystique.
Unbowed, and then it just slowly kind of reveals itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the terry cloth nightmare.
It wasn't really terry. It was more
silk.
of a
silk.
Yeah. Exactly.
Was it silk or was it polyester?
No, it was just a nice Japanese cotton.
Okay. Well,
So weird.
with a little bit of wool in it. So yeah, we will turn Shawn loose to get back on the road, get an update on Belvin, and make unpleasant sounds wherever he goes. So if you see Shawn, say hi and keep your distance. But Shawn, it's great to have you back. I was going to ask you about the Pistons, but they suck. So
I'm not going to travel for a bit.
I
got a baseball trip maybe in a month. The Tigers aren't very good anyway, and.
How's the season, by the way?
But other than that,
like
it's going to be
quarter over.
It's going to be. I know, right?
How'd they get to 50 games already?
It's weird not having
because the
been
Pistons were playing.
I guess so.
This is the latest I've gone in a while without going to a game. So I'll get there. I'll get the word soon. But no. I'm going to be around until football season probably.
Okay. Well, that's
a couple of tiny little like I said, I got a wedding and what do you say?
In Montreal.
What do you say, Montreal? Is that how you say it? Montreal?
Montreal, I don't know.
There you go.
Okay.
Is there another way to pronounce it?
Club Super Sex?
There you go.
Just ask him, où est les danseuses exotiques?
Flying to, by the way, it was outrageous to fly to Montreal for whatever reason that particular weekend of the wedding.
Didn't you fly Porter Air out of Windsor?
I thought about it, actually.
That's a good.
I thought about taking
deal.
the train. I wanted to take the train to Toronto and then fly Porter from Toronto, and
Sure.
they've got a little airport right there on
Billy
the water.
Bishop.
Yeah, and then fly to Montreal on Porter Air. But instead, I'm going to fly direct.
Your kid got his car towed, and now you're
No. Going to fly direct to Burlington,
drive up.
That's awesome.
And for like a third of the cost,
Yeah, it's
direct
like
on
it's like
Delta.
a 2-hour drive tops.
Not even that. The map says it was an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
and you're going to drive through the countryside of Quebec, which is beautiful, and Vermont is stunning. I mean, that's going to be fun.
And I've never been to Burlington. Aren't there a bunch of riders there? Or is that a different part of Vermont?
No, I think you maybe think of Bennington or
That's
something.
Bennington,
but Burlington is a great, also home of the Burlington Free Press, by the way. The Detroit
nice.
Free Press's sister paper.
Did you ever work there?
No. I would have loved to have stayed there, though. Burlington is a super
I'm looking
cool
forward
city.
to that. Never been there, yeah.
And one of the guys who plays in the Clark Park charity hockey game is Art Grimm, who played collegiate hockey at Vermont. Great defenseman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And now a defense attorney. I guess there's a theme there.
There is a theme.
Okay, I won't even try and get back to the strippers. But let me tell you about someone who I don't think was a stripper, but based on the way she managed her money, we can't rule it out. That's Kathy Ireland, who has never spoken to Luke Nowacki. Actually, now that I think about it, every celebrity that has gone broke has never spoken to Luke Nowacki. Maybe you shouldn't take that chance. Call or text Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748. That's 248-663-4748. I wonder if he could give the Montreal strippers pension plan some investment advice.
They'll make their money grow.
And it's probably all cash. So anyway, who knows? Maybe you can find a way to get your own Champions Club tickets so that you're not trying to weasel them from Drew like some people we know. But whatever you do, when you call Luke, you know he'll make it all about you, sweetheart.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through
Mosaic Wealth.
Inc. Member FINRA-SIPC.
Mosaic Wealth.
Inc. is separately owned, and other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent.
Mosaic Wealth.
Inc.
So before we get to Geek of the Week, get the sounder ready. Shawn, you want to?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, all right.
You've got it.
Do you have any sounds you can contribute? It sounds like there's a possibility.
I can't control them.
Okay, so
what is it? Breaking news?
Not on command.
This is your DCFC update. DCFC. There we go. LaRouche pulled out a big victory last weekend against Forward Madison, 1-0. And the women's team in the dub, that's what I call it. They call it the W League. Won in Ann Arbor in their season opener, 2-1. This coming Thursday, Miami FC comes to Keyworth at 7:30 for a match against the home team. It's Movement Night at Keyworth, which celebrates Detroit as the birthplace of techno, featuring a pregame tailgate spun by DJ Godfather. The following Saturday at 7 p.m. is the home opener for the women's team, Le Rouge, at... it would be not La Rouge, it'd still be La Rouge. At Kalamazoo FC, there will be a pre-match all-girls clinic at Keyworth, ages 8 to 6. Camp fees include tickets to the home opener, and more importantly, but not for the kids, it's dollar beer night. For $1 before the game, you can get a beer at Keyworth, which is always a reasonable price for beer, but $1, you cannot beat that. And the soccer tournament, remember we had the captain, Steve Carroll. That starts next week, May 27th. And guess who some of the teams are? Mark, I'm queuing this up just for you. The groups have been announced, and the group that Detroit FC is playing in include the Wrexham Red Dragons, Sneaky FC, which is led by Landon Donovan, and this is a dead giveaway, Solo FC, which is led by...
Hope.
Mark's favorite soccer player of all time, Hope Solo.
Yeah, right.
So more news on that. You can watch that.
More reasons to root for DCFC
on TV, and we will get that to you. By the way,
do we know what network it's on?
I think that has since been announced.
I shouldn't have asked,
but we will make that known to you next week. So come on back, and if you go to any of these games, remember if you use promo code SOUL when you hit checkout at debtcityfc.com. You will save 15% on your tickets.
And there's a link right on our page.
There is a link
right to their ticket page.
That's right. At
and
ML
with
Soul
the
of Detroit.
promo code reminder on there.
.com. So please check it out. Support the show. Support the team. Have a great time. Have a $1 beer and hit that button.
I never know when your sentences end.
I'm worse than Shawn.
I should just wait for a longer gap.
Oh man, the geeks have inherited the earth.
Did I do that?
What a dork.
Does him wanting to play with us again mean that he's turning into a geek, or we're turning into cool guys?
Well, this hardly qualifies as news, but MSU's Board of Trustees has once again made a terrible decision that limits transparency, that preserves the green wall, and brings shame to those of us who care so much about Michigan's best university, even though these guys try their best to make it less so.
That's a long setup.
It is a long setup because it's a long, sad story. It's yet another chapter in a litany of woes brought to us by the Board of Trustees.
What show you're on?
The Board of Trustees on Sunday night, with barely any notice, passed a new policy that says that, listen, we're not gonna talk, that you have a duty of loyalty, and that if the board makes a decision, even that you disagree with, you really shouldn't talk about it. Now, this comes on the heels of the previous policy where only the board chairperson could speak on behalf of the board. Now, if you don't know how these university boards work, most of them, the big ones, are elected. Now, the candidates are chosen by the political parties themselves, but they are elected at Michigan State, and at Wayne State by you, the voters. So once they get on, they have constituents, not just the students, not just the taxpayers, but people actually voted for them. And it's not inconceivable that board members from different political parties, different parts of the state, different backgrounds, different philosophies may disagree on things. But these boards are doing everything they can to stifle the free discussion of ideas, which is really what a university is all about. And so this new policy, which was rammed through at the last minute with very little discussion, very little study, at least as far as the public is concerned, and also jammed through at the same time, they doubled the salary of the MSU president.
Wow.
Is just another sign for people not to have faith in the folks running one of the biggest governments, one of the biggest institutions, one of the biggest repositories of your tax dollars, and one of the most important entities in this state for keeping this state strong and building a better future, has once again done something that is just completely and utterly outrageous, against the public interest, and they don't seem to care. And I'll tell you, folks, when things get voted on, we should be concerned when it's 9-0 because nobody agrees on everything. But if it's 5-4, 6-3, 7-2, I mean, the Supreme Court, the people who dissent have their say, and sometimes over time the dissent becomes the majority opinion. But we are seeing free speech muzzled in East Lansing again. And to say it's despicable is to show a lack of imagination with adjectives, because it's worse than that.
I always find it interesting that people don't take who they vote for a board or the regents of these universities in the state when they don't. Do they not? People not realize how much they control, like how big, how much money they control, how many.
Yeah, these are billion-dollar enterprises. These are some of the biggest governmental bodies in the state of Michigan.
Well, Michigan's regents alone oversee the $22 billion endowment that they have.
It's the only thing well endowed. Yes.
Did you see what they did with their best endowment investment? It's been on the news lately.
AI, right? They put
20
million, and now they
20
stand
million
to gain
down,
$2 billion or something.
They turned $20 million into $2 billion by investing in OpenAI.
Here's the bad news:
when it goes public,
they're going to spend it all on a quarterback.
Well, I mean, the good news is, and then you're going to appreciate this because you can shit on it all you want. You can't use that for NIL. The endowment can't be spent on anything athletic. There's an athletic. Why are you smelling your shirt?
We may have had an eruption.
There's an athletic
stroker.
There's an athletic endowment, and then there's the university. In the university endowment, though, I believe they spend about a quarter of it on Michigan medicine, so patient care. So there is some, I guess, public good that comes out of it, but most of it they just sit on and let it make more money. Why are you making faces?
Me?
Okay, are you okay over there?
No, I'm totally fine. Yeah, I just
Shawn
was this.
I know it's not about the content. I'm worried about you.
Geek of the Week and Room 7609.
No, this is Geek of the Week.
So now we're on to feedback.
No, you're gonna hate Room 7609, Shawn, because I know how much you abhor rhythm. But the thing about this, the Detroit News reported extensively on this, and they said that one of the reasons some of these trustees it doesn't really matter that we're raising the president's salary, because one of the trustees, I believe, said, we think we're going to get it through private donations. Now, first of all, there's no guarantee of that. But second of all, to my mind, if you're going to raise money from people who support the university, how about putting that into a scholarship fund? Mm-hmm. How about doing something to expand the class offerings instead of cutting the number of things that people can take? The liberal arts are under attack at our universities.
You got to pay a president more so you can get better students coming in, right? Isn't that Is that the excuse they're going to use?
Well, to me,
I don't buy it, but
to me, you'd have to pay me $1 billion to work with these governing boards at the Michigan universities. But that's just me, and no one's offered. So guess what? MSU Board of Trustees, you are our eternal geeks. But this week, you're our special geeks.
I waited longer that time.
Vegan!
There's an all-night party in room 7609. And you can dance together all night if you've got the time.
Room 7609 started out as a blueprint, but it became a room, and it's one where Shawn...
oh, great. More history. By the way, what is Marc wearing in that promo?
What?
For Room 7609.
Soulmates...
Is that a spaghetti top?
Soulmates know what Shawn is talking about because you get to watch the show, and before we play each of our segments, we have some stunning graphics featuring, in this case, our old friend Matt Jennings. Marc, can you put that back up?
It's just a tank top. I mean, why don't you focus on what you're wearing in it?
Oh yeah, Marc's a little saucy. He's got a chain on.
But it's coming.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's coming down to the top of his nipples a little bit.
Shawn looks like a
Where
Jawa.
else is it supposed to go?
I look like a what?
A Jawa.
Do I?
Or maybe Cousin It.
No,
like
he looks
a brunette
like
Cousin It.
Wait, he looks like Fran Lebowitz.
Ouch.
How's that for a reference?
That's awesome. Okay. That is fantastic.
You do look like her though.
That's fantastic. I wish I had that eye.
Well, if you love music, they have great music at the Cadger Cafe, and the beer garden, the outside stage, is getting ready to open. But before we tell you about what's going on at the Cadger, let me tell you about Artisan Interiors, because if you're looking to update your home, maybe you have a kitchen like mine that has a hole in the roof. Maybe you have a space that you don't use, but you would like to. Well, Artisan Interiors can help. Whether it's your kitchen, finishing your basement, custom cabinetry, new fireplace surround, or anything else in your home, Artisan Interiors would love to help you. Give them a call at 586-770-3169, not 7609, 586-770-3169 to discuss, and they will start the process to make your vision become your home's reality. When you talk to John, tell him ML sent you. I'm going to have him out to my place to take a look at some work I want to have done. So I hope to give you a full report on that in the near future. Well, Shawn was reluctant to talk about the Pistons unless he was blowing ass all over them. So we're going to turn this week's basketball segment over to a little-known artist who should
Curtis
still
Blow?
be renowned, Mr.
Oh, you
Curtis.
got that on one note. That's pretty good.
Curtis Blow!
My favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court, just like I'm the king on the microphone. So it's Dr. J and Moses Malone. I like slam dunks and taking it to the hoop. My favorite play is the alley oop. I like the pick and roll. I like the give and go, cause it's basketball of Mr. Curtis Blow. Take the girl to see Tiny play against Earl Pearl and Will Big-O and Jerry West play basketball at its very best. Basketball has always been my thing. I like Magic Bird and Bernard King. And number 33, my man Kareem is the center on my stunning team. Pistol Pete. Now these players could never be beat. Isaiah and Iceman too. Just give them the ball and then you talk up too. Dantley and Wilkins are on the scene, and Ralph Simpson is really mean. Bill Russell didn't take no jump, and Dal Dawkins got a monster dunk. To the hoop, y'all. Yes. Ha-ho, here I go. Face. Dips. Oh, you can't check me, man. Get on down. Oh yeah, I like this basketball. Dip. Now here I go in your face. Swish. Oh yeah. To the hoop, y'all. It's basketball. Tell me, were you in the joint? The night Wolves scored 100 points. Or when Celtics won titles back to back and didn't give nobody no kind of slack. Or when Dr. J shook the whole damn team with moves that came right out of a dream. Or when Willis Reed stood so tall playing D with desire. Yes, basketball. To the hoop, y'all. Yeah, girl. I don't play like the superstar in the NBA. The forwards, the centers, and all the guards. The ones you see on the bubblegum cards. Me and homeboy would go one-on-one, cause playing the game is a lot of fun. Sit by the TV and watch them all, cause Curtis Blow is rapping basketball. They're playing basketball. The ball, y'all.
So Shawn remembers. I used to tell him this when we'd play in my backyard. You can't check me, boy. And then he would try to.
Did you used to say that to me?
Yeah, I did.
Called him boy.
Well, it was more boy-y.
I remember that song used to be so cool, and now it's so corny.
What? How many people know the references?
So maybe,
Willis Reed, people like Dr.
Bernard
J.
King.
So maybe it was
Who's
never
Dr.
cool.
J? Oh, Bernard. I remember Bernard King killing the Pistons.
Oh yeah.
If something holds up, then it was cool, and it's always cool.
Yeah,
well,
it's great.
It's kind of a novelty song, right? And I think his girlfriend convinced him to write the song because she's like, it's the #1 sport for black people, and no one's ever written a song about it. Which I'm like, Cheech and Chong did. What are you talking about? I mean, they had Basketball Jones.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Basketball Jones was great.
When you were a kid, you thought the van made out of marijuana was the best thing ever, right?
I was never a huge Cheech and Chong fan.
I just like the van made out of marijuana.
Yeah. Was that with Stacy? Was that Nice Dreams?
Did you drive a van like that around Europe?
No. I was in a van somewhat like that trying to tow a boat down a 2-lane highway, but it's a repressed memory now. Anyway, Curtis Blow is rapping basketball here on Room 7609. No complaints from Shawn, so we're going to keep moving fast before we can register one. If you would like to send us a song with a story, send it to mlsoulofdetroit@gmail.com. We also want to say rest in peace to Africa Bambaataa, who we lost recently, one of the pioneers of hip-hop.
Also not
amazing.
Not a great guy.
Really?
Oh, wasn't he busted for child porn?
I don't know.
Oh, boy. Before I say something, let me look it up.
Yeah. Well, you can't libel the dead, but we still.
Well, I still want to be.
We still like to get it right. But anyway, please send us your songs. We'd love to get
child sexual abuse allegations, April 2016. Yeah, he sexually molested a kid when he was 15 in 1980.
Oh.
And then a whole bunch of other people piled on. So, yeah, there you go. He also lost a civil trial based on it, so.
Still dead.
I mean, if you want to laud him, go ahead, but I'm not the greatest guy.
I ain't going to see the Michael Jackson biopic, but...
well, once again, two things can be true. Michael Jackson made great music. He's also a crazy pedophile.
Well, there you go. Rest in peace, the good parts of Africa Bambaataa. The rest you can burn in hell.
Exactly.
Okay, I think that covers it. Don't bother with the music, Mark. This is where we thank our new donors. We do not have any new soulmates this week, which is sad, but we do have... our sponsors, the Cajun Cafe.
Can I start back up again then?
Okay, yeah, let's do it for the Cajun Cafe. Guess who's playing tonight, May 19th at the Cajun Cafe?
Curtis Blow.
Bertus Clow.
The Grosse Pointe South Jazz Band, of which I am an alumni, and appeared on at least one Grosse Pointe South Jazz Band album.
That sounds awesome.
With some...
Pimply Elric with a saxophone. That sounds great.
You know, I had a lot of things going against me.
Way too long.
In high school.
But never pimples?
But I didn't have acne, so it was the one thing.
You were lucky, yeah.
I found other...
I had a little bit. Yeah.
I found other things to hate myself about.
I had plenty of that myself.
I didn't even know you and I hated you. I've got some residual.
Everybody
anger.
hated me, but I hated
no.
myself more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Hated me.
How it's
Shit,
supposed to be
I
when
wish
you're a
you
teenager.
told us so we
I'm
could have
still
focused
that
our
way.
energies elsewhere.
I still hate myself.
That's
right?
why we hated you too, because you're so selfish.
And you guys still hate me.
Anyway, Wednesday at the Caju karaoke, Detroit's longest running karaoke night. On Thursday, it's the Jam Jazz with the Bill Meyer Group. It's Detroit's longest running jam session. Friday, the Dave Hamilton Band. Saturday, East Side still alive, despite what you may have heard. Sunday, Planet D Nonay. Closed Monday, Memorial Day. And then come on back Tuesday for great music, great eats, great fun, feather bowling, all kinds of great stuff. You can find out all about it at cajucafe.com, and we'll have a link to their website at our website, which is mlsoulofdetroit.com.
Nice.
So, time for a little feedback. So keep the Fat Max Pro Cop track rolling. Robert says, hoping ML can speak to the shenanigans going on at MSU with the thickest thieves, carpetbagging president and athletic director, each pulling in millions of dollars a year, and now bossing around the elected board of trustees with NDAs and threats of exile and lawsuits that they dare to publicly criticize MSU decisions. These power-drunk crooks are just next level. I also love the bootlicking idiots who rationalize the comp these power-drunk grifters steal with, but their budget is such and such. So what? The state budget is $80 billion, so should our governor make $80 million a year and state reps a couple million each? I'll answer that one for you. Hell no. I'm a retired school administrator. These ivory tower admin jobs are all fake. They do nothing but fly to events and hobnob with donors. They are laughing to bank. They're laughing all the way to the bank at how stupid we are. That's from our friend Bob in Fort Myers. Well, Bob, you've heard what I've had to say about it. If you guys have something to say, please send us a note at mlsoulofdetroit@gmail.com. We love your feedback. We share it on the show, and occasionally we opine. This time we kind of preempted you, Bob, but most of what you say is pretty right on, and I say with a heavy heart, but go green, you're blowing it again.
Thank you, Bob, in Fort Myers.
So,
and thank you, Mark.
Me?
Time.
In the studio.
I think
studio.
when the music ends on time, that's a sign.
Because
Shawn?
he found that great news alert, the old-timey news alert, in 2 seconds. I'm always amazed at how
That's my go-to.
good he is at
He's a
that at
professional.
this job. I know.
I kind of liked mine, but I guess we'll use the one Mark came so everybody feels special. We don't want that self-loading that plagued you all
Who
the way
didn't
through
grow
your
up on
high
that
school.
sounder, though? That was the CBS sounder, right?
By the way, CBS News,
Whatever you need, though, Mark
used to
pulls
use
it up instantly.
CBS
It's
Radio
awesome.
News next month will be gone after like 100 years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's very, very sad.
I-
Good job, Barry Weiss.
I know.
Good job.
I know we're about to get to Cyrus, but can you just tell us real quickly what's worth watching? I love Mark's.
Oh, me?
Yeah, I love
well,
Mark's
The Boys.
TV segment.
The final season of The Boys has been ridiculous.
And dark.
Very dark, but very entertaining. I mean, tell me what genre you want. and I'll tell you.
Any. Have you watched Beef, the new Beef?
No, I didn't like the first season of Beef, so I'm not going to watch the second one. The Crash, if you like documentaries on true crime on Netflix, is really, really good.
Okay.
I thought Rooster was really good with Steve Carell.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you ever finished DTF St. Louis.
I haven't started it yet.
Oh, it's such a different show from anything that's out there, and even as you're trying to figure out, it's one of those shows where you're trying to figure things out. It just does it, and the answers are very different than I think what most people would have expected. If that makes sense, the twists and turns.
Okay,
I don't want to ruin it. So
okay, well those are good.
Go home and
good
sit on the couch.
Excellent, excellent. When you're not listening to quality podcasts, of course.
Exactly, or watching. Yeah.
So we will be dropping a new bonus episode soon. Hoping to have Erica back with us in studio, or maybe zooming in from a big breaking news site. We'll let you know as events unfold. But until next week, we turn to our friend Cyrus to do something that they should have done to Shawn's car.
Oh,
take it out.
Can you dig that? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
People ask me, will I remember them if I make it? I tell them, will you remember me if I don't?
An extraordinary true story. A unique
podcasting
experience.
The soul of Detroit.